Supervisor Ashley.
Okay, I had the same concerns as outlined by Supervisor Stone, but I have one other thing I'm concerned about. Since the beginning of time, almost around here, when there's a property foreclosed on or a trust deed, it's sold at the courthouse steps. Okay, now, so we're taking that traditional act, it's very important, and you're moving it. Now, where are you going to move it to? You're going to get up here, and so you get one title company gets up and they say, well, we're going to do it at the offices or the conference room or the parking lot of the First American Title Company, and another one does it here, and God, it's just, how are we going to accommodate that? It's a very important function. And people, it's been that way forever. It's like it's tradition. I don't know how far it goes back, but it probably goes back way before we were even a county. And I'm concerned about that, and perhaps I can understand all these bail bonds and all this stuff, but I'm really concerned about what are we going to do about that function. I don't want to support this unless I know I'm real happy with how that's going to be handled.
Well, one of the reasons this became an issue, and if you drive by, probably even today, if you drive by the historic courthouse and look on the front lawn of the historic courthouse, you'll see it's like carnival-like atmosphere. There are dozens, maybe sometimes hundreds of folks congregating there for the purposes of going through because of the current foreclosure crisis. Yeah. And I think there's a tradition, but as I understand it, and Pam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no statutory authority or responsibility for us to provide for that function there. Mm-hmm. It's a private activity. Historically, yes, it's tradition that it has happened there, but it is not, I don't think, our obligation to provide that function in that location, correct?
Yes.
That is correct. It just has to be provided for somewhere in the county.
Well, yeah. That's the trouble. Right now, somebody is losing their property, and then they have a chance to save it. That's it. They can come there, and they can put up the money and save their property or get a relative to do it, whatever. There's going to be confusion where to go. This is where people go. It's going to be quite a change, and I'm not sure I'm ready for that. But this foreclosure situation we have now isn't going to go on forever. It's going to pass another year and a half, too. It'll get down to normal. And I'm concerned about that. I want to know what the alternative. I don't want where you're meeting in 15 different places all over the county. I want to have it where there's one place where you can go. Now, if there's some, we don't want to mess up the courthouse and the access to the courthouse and the beauty of our courthouse, but I'm really concerned. This is something that it's been a right and something we're used to, a tradition. I'm reluctant to change it until I see what the alternative is going to be.
But Supervisor Tamloni.
Yeah, I'm listening to the comments and share the same concerns. The foreclosure issue, sale of property on the courthouse steps has been going on for centuries, or at least a century here in the United States. And understanding that this has been a request of the courts because the county, still owns the old historic courthouse, so it is county property. If we pass an ordinance like this, the likelihood of them moving to another court facility could be pretty high, such as the Robert Presley courthouse, just on the other side of the mall. To the south.
Then it becomes a state problem. Yeah. Then
it becomes a state problem. Yes. So I think what are we doing? Plus, when we say, and I agree, do you want to say you can't have the Girl Scouts out there selling their cookies? But they're a nonprofit. Churches are nonprofit. You're going to let the Scientology go out there and sell their educational material that they sell, or the Catholics, or you going to say that's okay, Francois?
Islam Brotherhood.
Okay, well, there are other churches that are nonprofit, but are you going to say that they can't do that? Let's pretend, or let's be real.
You can't limit one and not limit the other.
Yeah.
It's not fair, and people have the right to go before on that courthouse. That is a public.
I agree with you. I'm just trying to make a point.
Mr. Chair, it seems as though we have a lot of issues with respect to bringing this ordinance forward in this present form. I would recommend that we put a 30-day continuance on this to have staff work with County Council and the chairman to bring this back in a form that's more acceptable to the public and the board.
I'd like to add to that, Mr. Chair. I think we need to engage the courts and find out that basically what an example I just gave. You know, these folks are smart. If we say you're not going to be able to do it right in the court,
Do it right
the older
here in
courts,
front of-
they're going to just move 50 feet over to the south.
It might move right out in front of this building
Wouldn't
here.
that be county property too? I mean,
No.
you're going to limit people.
The state owns that. The only courthouse that we own anymore is the old historic courthouse. All the other properties have been transferred to the
Wouldn't it
state.
be easier to take that $10,000 of our taxpayer money and rent an auditorium where they can have their...
Well, this is one-time money. That if we do that, this will be a huge expense that will go on forever if we rent something.
And we don't really...
So this is that 10,000 is a one-time expense just to get the ordinance. But if we move to a location that we control, then we got the maintenance of that. So this, you got to think this through. I don't think
Or Ms. Waltz,
it's as simple as it looks.
Yes.
staff's going to come back with trying to explain the basis for this and what their recommendations as for how a change would work and what some of the problems, any other problems they see, how they would distinguish between various types of uses, locations, and the like. So there'll be a full report coming back to us before we take any further action.
Yeah, and we'll
What do you
make
need,
certain-
another-
we'll make certain that the courts are here to represent their position as well.
Good, good. Okay, Mr. Choquette, did you still want to speak on this item? Okay, you're the last speaker, sure. Then we'll take a vote.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Supervisors. I'd like to speak in agreement with Mr. Ashley here, but I also want to state here, why is EDA involved? This is the Economic Development Agency. I mean, it's like the Economic Suppression
Also
Agency.
over facilities, so they're in charge of such facilities, yeah, slash.
Okay.
Maybe combine those two departments.
All right, because it seems to me that we're suppressing county property auctions. There are probably a lot of auctions due to tax liens and stuff. And by the way, it's going on right now. I've seen it many times. There's about 20 people out there. Sometimes they're out there in 110-degree weather and in the rain, whatnot. And my feeling is often rooms in the courthouse are empty. This hall is empty often in the afternoon. I'd say, allow them in. Just encourage business. As far as other commercial businesses, hot dog stands and stuff, street food, yeah, let's encourage it. Don't try to discourage it. Let's go for freedom instead. And let's see. Yeah, you mentioned the bail bonds advertisement. They were quite helpful when I found out about Fausto bail bonds. Now, I'm kind of worried that with the timing of this ordinance, it's almost like you're trying to preempt a prohibition on a Wisconsin-style sleeping. I hope that's not related to this, right? Okay, good. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we have a motion on the floor. Please vote. My screen's not working, but I assume that carries. Madam Clerk, good. Okay, that